The Thimble Shoppe, Prairie Creek Sweet Romances, Book 2. Written by Elizabeth Bromke. Narrated by Cecily White. Prologue. Betty.
June 8th, 1960. I think once you get married, you become someone new. Even now, just hours into my marriage, I can't stop thinking about my name. It's changing, you know. Yesterday, I was Betty Merkel. Today, I'm Elizabeth Marie Kimball. Elizabeth Marie Merkel Kimball. Mrs. Elizabeth Kimball. Mrs. James Kimball. Mrs. James L. Kimball. Now that I'm married, I wonder if folks will still call me Betty. Mrs. Betty Kimball. Hard to say, since my mother went by Annie even though her given name was Anne. Then again, there was my Aunt Edna, who only ever went by Edna, although she never married. If the occasion arises where I'm supposed to introduce myself, I'll just say Betty, since everyone, even Jim, still calls me that. Diary, that's what I'll call you. I am vacillating between thinking about my new name and admiring my new wedding ring. It belonged to my grandmother on my mother's side. It's a beautiful silver ring, a very comfortable fit. On top of it are just about 1,000,000 diamonds. Well, I counted. There are 11. 10 small ones and 1 bigger one in the middle. The little ones twist around the big one, and it's the most fashionable and expensive piece of jewelry I will ever own. I'm sure of it. Back to names. My new initials are EMK. Jim's are JLK. It feels regal, the letter K, or presidential. Next week, I plan to monogram our bath towels with our initials. I'll do it by hand with the sewing kit my mother gave me for my bridal shower. I'd always just used my mother's olive green kit. It has a little clasp that hardly ever works on account of its age, but I already miss things like that, like my mother's sewing kit. It's nice to have my own, but still, mine feels empty by comparison. Inside of Mother's, she keeps her stash as orderly as a seamstress possibly can. There's a compartment for new needles and one for old. When they get to be a certain age, they break so fast, she likes to keep them separate. In the bottom goes her seam ripper and fabric scissors, measuring tape, chalk. She used to have patterns and thread in there, but her collection got to be a lot. So now her thread all goes into an aluminum tin. Patterns are kept in the left drawer of the buffet. The fabric hangs like wet leaves over drying racks in her spare bedroom. One day, I'll have a room just for all of my sewing supplies. A girl can dream. Anyway, I didn't sleep a wink last night, sharing a room with Jim. In my mind, beneath the cover of darkness, I went through what I have and what I'll need if I'm to take on all the sewing needs of our new family. It helped keep me from squirming around too much. I'd hate to have woken Jim. I guess there's a lot that changes when you get married, like being extra quiet at night. So, here I am, just married. A newlywed, they call me. I rather like that, because it makes everything feel fresh. And, well, that's just what my life is now. I moved from Mother and Father's house into the apartment above Jim's daddy's shop just last night, after the reception. Well, gee, there I go with the I this and me that. I meant to write we moved into the apartment, Jim and I. We're a we now, you see. Gee, it's a little strange waking up in the same room as a man, even if he's my husband. Jim was bashful about the whole thing, too. We sort of woke up at the same time, I think, because when I opened my eyes, I was looking straight at Jim, who looked as though he'd just opened his eyes. We sort of smiled at each other. I wanted to say, "What now?" I wanted to giggle. But Jim seemed to know what to do. He cleared his throat and got out of his bed, then made it up quickly, army corners and all. Then he sort of adjusted his long johns and looked all shy and said, "Won't you excuse me?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?